Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, with another episode of VSW. Thank you, everybody. You're far too kind. Welcome to the VSW. I'm your host, the Versace Stoner, and this will be another great episode as we recap NCW Shoots and Ladders. And let me just tell you, being a personal sponsor for this event and one of the matches, I have to say I couldn't be more prouder than everyone involved in this show, from the wrestlers down to the referees. They've just put on a great show. You know, I love NCW. They are one of my favorite promotions. John puts on an amazing show each and every time. And, during the pandemic, they've been able to shine a little, I think, with their behind closed doors tapings, really getting to know the talent even more. And they've, just really expanded, in my opinion. Their last shows that they put out, amazing. And I just can't wait till the day that they announce when the live return to Dedham, Massachusetts will be, because I sure the hell will be there. I was at their last one right before the world shut down. But this event was tremendous, just like everyone is. You can catch it, still, if you missed it, you can watch it again on NCW Unlimited. I believe it's something like $12 to purchase, maybe half of that to rent. I'm not 100% sure. I just buy it, and I think it is $12 to buy. But yeah, definitely one for the books, and let's go over it, let's talk about it. And we can, jump right into it. Starting things off was a nice, 3-on-3. You had Love Doug, somewhat a new addition to the NCW, with the Little Giants, veterans in the NCW, former tag team champs of the NCW, Bullet Joe and Robbie, going up against the victorious one, former champion, and the big boys, That's right, Ricky Smokes, the Smoke Show, and the giant there, Chaz Cashew, the monster. And, I think, Love Doug and the Little Giants were definitely the underdogs coming into this. They had to be. Against, the tremendous size and overall, star power they were put up against here. And they gave a hell of a fight, though. I will give them that, Love Doug, tremendous wrestler. Little Giants, legendary in NCW. They really, really are. But at the end of it, it was the former champ to come in and close the show, with a super kick to Love Doug and taking the victory. And if you could see the look on his face, he was done with confidence. He was like the closer coming in a baseball game to end it. And that's exactly what he did. And, I just got to say, BRG is getting better and better and better every time I see him. Really look out for his movesets. They keep increasing. One of the things I've noticed in watching him and as things have come back is how good his double axe handle is. Tremendous. And, Ricky Smokes is really moving up the ranks, too. He looks really good in there. He's done a tremendous job on his, physique and just really putting things together. And same thing with Chaz. The giant himself, Chaz Cashew. So they looked really dominant. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with these guys. Moving on to the next match, though, we had two women that didn't make it in the women's title tournament, but are still real top contenders, and that is Little Mean Kathleen and Big Juicy, two of New England's brightest wrestlers right now on the scene. MLK just killing it, trained by the legendary Spike Dudley. You can see him in here if you watch closely, especially if you watch it side by side with old ECW footage. It's just kind of amazing. I was doing it the other day, and I could just really see, all she's learned. And she's just, one of those next breakout stars, I think, if you think of the lineage and people of that, nature. Look at you got people like Ted Goods, legendary in New England. You got Anthony Green, August Gray, legendary, NCW. Now WWE, you can see him on 205 Live. A lot of great people trained by Spike Dudley, and, MLK is one of them. But, she had her match against another great New England contender, and that is Big Juicy. I love it, she's juicy. What can I say? She has a great attitude in the ring. She's really charismatic, and I love the juice. All about the healthy lifestyle there. It is great. And at the end, it was her with the juicy bomb to pick up the victory over MLK. And that really goes to show you that Big Juicy is next in line for whoever, is. Well, we'll announce, obviously, who won the tournament, but really, Big Juicy should be next in line for this title. But, Little Man, Mean Kathleen not taking the win, but, still repping the Scrungy Squad, still with the crew, and it was interesting, very interesting, I have to say. But, great matchup between these two. Just, it always is. Speaking of greatness, next up we had Mike Montero defending his New England championship against the very deserving Ike. Ike has come a long way since breaking free of McCarthy. He's really, proved himself. He used to be the kind of guy that would carry all sorts of weapons in the ring. You'd have to check him 2 or 3 times. It wasn't safe for the ref, the wrestlers, or anybody. Now he's more domesticated and more wrestling than ever. He's really looking good out there. He won that 3-way scramble there to get into this. And he really gave Mike, I think, a run for his money. But Mike is Mike. If you heard our interview we did earlier in the year with him, before he was to, beat Dick Lane for the title, you would see he was, on the top of his game. And he told you, nothing is going to stand in his way. And I believe it. And he dominated, in the end, this match, with a great DDT and then a double stomp from the top. And that was lights out for Ike. But, kudos to Ike. He's really come a long way. Like I said, he deserves his title. And I don't know, what's next for Mike. Who deserves this next? We got people like Foxy Calvin, yes. And, maybe even a returning Osiris at some point. But do you give, somebody like, a newcomer like Love Doug a chance? Do you give him a shot at it? There's many possibilities that can take place for Mike's next matchup. I'm not really sure what it's going to be. But it will be very good. Then we had, one of the semifinal matches. The leader of the Scrungy Squad, Becca, with, her Scrungy Squad members going against not America's sweetheart, New England's own gatekeeper of women's wrestling, Davey Ann. And, this was a really tough match for me to call in the beginning of who I think was going to win. I did, pick Becca to win it all. But these two are just, the best of the best right now in New England. If you watch any other promotions, they're just killing it. Just killing it. And, We had a little debut of a Proxy Vandale that night, as not sure really where Paris was, but she was out there with the Scrungy Squad, and I think all this hype with Becca really helped her in this match, because they were there to have her back. They were there, and this and it was Proxy Vandale that helped Becker win it in the end, getting to those brass knuckle loaded scrunchie and, getting it to allow Becca to take that victory. But, I just want to say, without Proxy Vandale, let's take her out the picture. Let's take out how she won that. I know people are like, she don't deserve that win. It was dirty. No. Let me tell you something about Becca, though. Win, lose, or draw, no matter how it's done, she would have won. She is a tremendous, tremendous wrestler. She's the leader of the Scrungy Squad. So it really doesn't matter that she had to, resort to whatever you think she did to win this match. Sometimes you have to cheat to win in wrestling. I hate to say it, but you do. It is part of the game. And if you don't get caught, does it really count in it? No. If the ref is, too focused on whatever he's doing to see you take advantage of the situation, then that's you being smart, you taking care of timing. That's really not, you cheating. That's just my opinion on it. Sometimes it just has to be done. This was one of those times. But it was Becca taking the victory over Davey Ann. Also in the semifinals, it was Isana against Angel Sinclair and Savannah Lords. And, this was just a crazy up match as, it was basically like 2-on-1, Isana is fighting a tag team. And, there was some pretty fun stuff going on in this match. There was a little DX action, I have to say. A little, suck it action. And, I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it all. I like this whole tournament. And, at the end, Becca, I'm sorry to say, Isana is just, one of the number one NCW females they have. So no matter who you throw against her, whether it be, FAFO, whether it be, the Sierra before, whether it be, whoever in NCW, she's going to fight it with the best of her ability. You could hear it in our interview with her. She's another fighting champion. She holds belts in New England. She, she's a great wrestler, and she proved herself to be one of the best that night. And she took the victory, and I think she did it in a good way, to prove that it was hers. There was no cheating involved. There was none of that. It was a clean win. And, I'm a big, big fan of Isana, like I said, so I was very ecstatic to say. And, when I say this, I wanted to say, I was predicting either... I actually predicted, I kind of predicted this whole setup here, but I did predict Isana versus Becker in the finals, and that is what we got. I'll tell you, though, what we didn't get. And that is Tim Kilgore versus Billy Wenka. Tim just was not ready once again. He just wasn't. He didn't have his mascara. He didn't have this. I don't know. Tim, get your shit together. Get on ball. We want to see you wrestle. Let's see what you got out there. Let's see. We got another great matchup, though, that did take place. And that was ZPB, Zachary Pierre Boulay, with his newfound friend Dallas McCarthy, going up against one of NCW's newest additions, Dylan Nix. You know, you can check him out on Limitless The Road. You can see him all over. He is great. He's done work at the dojo. We've had him on our show. Great wrestler. Both of these guys are. I like how ZPB is. He's a wine-drinking, cocky son of a bitch. And you know what? He has the action to back it up as he took the win over Dylan Nix. I was surprised by this. Nix is, powerful. But, this is all started because, Dallas McCarthy is calling out Alexander Lee. And, Alexander Lee is a very dangerous man. And, as we all know, Dylan Nix is one of his students. He stepped into this match, defending Alexander Lee's honor. He did lose the match, as ZPB did take the victory. And I can tell you this, Alexander Lee is going to be looking for some redemption, I think. I think he's going to be looking for some payback on this one. This is going to be, something to watch out for. ZPB better watch out for Alexander Lee. Then in another great high-flying matchup, two of my favorite superstars of all time in the NCW, one older and one newer. We had the great Foxy Calvin Campbell with the very charismatic, flashy dresser, Doc Ozone, going up against Armani Chaos with the Scungy Squad represent. You had Proxy Van Dale. You had, all these people by his side, always looking sharp, Armani. But, looking sharp and wrestling sharp are two different things. You're facing one of the best of the best of the best, and that is Foxy Calvin. He is a legend in the game. And, at the end of it all, it came down to, Doc Ozone, really. Foxy was, just, setting things up. But, you had Becker and Proxy jumping in, trying to cause the distractions. But Doc Ozone got in there. And, Doc Ozone is very quick on the case. He watches his men closely. He is there to take care. And that is exactly what he did. And Foxy was able to, use that time to turn around, avoid the kick, and hit the kiss that don't miss. He got the 3 count, and that was all she wrote for that one. And I tell you what, Foxy Calvin, I believe, should be next in line for some kind of title shot in NCW. Somewhere, either the heavyweight championship or that New England title. Let's see it. Bring it on. He deserves it. Let's go. Speaking of very deserving and very great teams, let's talk about this matchup. This next one, it was a VSW sponsored match. Waves and Curls. That's right. You might have seen them on recently AEW television. You got Trey and JB there. They just really are amazing. They are also the reigning NCW champions. If you watch their iPay-per-view, the virtual reunion where they picked up the win. Now you had returning back Ricky Medeiros, and now teaming up with the other half of the Middlesex Express, and in my opinion, maybe the better man in the ring, Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon. And I just, again, don't think the chemistry is there. These are two of my favorite superstars, okay? I can't get, this is what I think. My two favorite superstars, Ricky Medeiros, all-time great, high flyer, super kicks, whatever you want to do. He's a tag team specialist, okay? Great. Him and Jason have an amazing chemistry when they're tagging up together. Now, on the other side, you have P-Dac, an amazing, tremendous wrestler, athlete, another tag team specialist. Great when he's tagging with Steven Lust. The Middlesex Express are legendary. Detox is legendary. These two together, not so legendary, no matter which way you slice it. They're just not jiving, and it didn't happen. And at the end, P-Dac is kicked square in the head by his own partner. It was just, horrible chemistry between the two. And, Ricky and P-Dac went at it a little bit. And threw, Ricky out of the ring. And it was Waves and Curls that would, take advantage of that to take the pin. Like I said, you can see them on AEW television. If you go back and watch the docs, they tore it up. They are the NCW Tag Team Champions. That's Waves and Curls. One of the best tag teams ever across the country, I have to say. So charismatic, so, fun. They are everything that you want out of a tag team. It's all there. The chemistry, everything. So definitely check them out. Check this whole pay-per-view out if you haven't already, Go on to NCW Unlimited, $12, get it. Then we had the first ever women's NCW Championship crowning match, and it would be Bexa with Proxy Vandale versus Isana, and this match was for the ages. I was so excited for this. Two of the best of NCW. Again, a veteran, and again, somebody new, someone that's just, tore it apart during the pandemic, and that is Becca. A huge fan of both of these women. They are tremendous athletes. You should follow them wherever they are, whatever their promotion they are wrestling in. Give it a watch. Their matches are on point. But this match definitely was too, and it did not disappoint. It was a lot of back and forth action, and I really didn't know who was going to take it. At the end, it was Becca with that fierce super kick to get the 3 count. I've been told she learned that kick from the one and only Chase Del Monte. That's right, Chase. I know you taught her that super kick. But yeah, she has a tremendous super kick. Like Isana has a tremendous suplex. So, it was that, and it was Becca to be the first ever women's champion. Congratulations, Becca. And, it was Little Mean Kathleen that came in the ring, though, stated she's going to plan a celebration party for Becca, and then left with the title. This, was a shock. I think Becca was a little bit shocked. And, but, everybody was in confusion of what's going to happen. But the Scrungy Squad did win the belt. You got to remember, they are a squad. So, if one wins, they all win. Speaking of All for All, we had Team Lumberjack next. That's Lumberjack, Riot Callan Thomas, Insane Dick Lane, and Blaze Bazooka, with Steve the Turtle Weiner versus the Heavy Hoods, Davey Cash, Shay Cash, Frank Champion, and Kevin Castro in a total elimination match. And, this is long-term storytelling at its best. As you know, Castro has been tormenting Lumberjack for years now. And finally, they got some revenge. And it was, craziness. And a sweet victory, too, First, it was Shay that was eliminated. And then it was Frank Champion who got eliminated. He got him, then it was Davey Cash that got eliminated. And he actually eliminated himself by getting himself disqualified by hitting the ref in the face. Good going there, Davey. That's a really well way to help your team. And that would leave Kevin Castro all alone, and then he would finally be taken out, by Jake with the avalanche to the corner in a choke slam. And that was all she wrote for Kevin Castro, and he was eliminated. And, Team Lumberjack swept right through them. What a match, though. It reminded me of an old Survivor Series match with all the powerhouse moves and the structure of the match. It's great. It told the story. It ended the story. I love it. It's not over yet. There's a lot more to be told with this Castro and, Shay and all of these people. So you just got to watch NCW Behind Closed Doors every Thursday night to see what takes place, because they're doing great on the storytelling, I have to say. And that brings us to the main event of the evening, the ladder match for the NCW Heavyweight Championship. And that is with, Vern Vicalo defending against Channing Thomas. And this was one for the ages. If you ever seen, any of those WWE ladder matches from the 90s, you will know this is right up there with them. And, these two battled it out. Finally, Vern was trying to, really determined to show once and for all that he is the champion. He can beat Channing. He has it all done. And, at the end of it, Ricky Smokes comes out and pulled Vicalo off the ladder. And, Thomas was ready to grab that title, and Chaz Cashew came down and pulled Thomas off. The big boys there were in full effect, and BRG himself ran up, grabbed the belt, and left. That is how it ended. BRG once again with the big fuck you. If you ever seen the Big City Rumble, the last one they did, it was the same kind of feeling. BRG, though, with the win. And yes, it was like that. It was a great one, though. Great matchup. We got to see how this is going to play out. I don't know. BRG wants that title back. He really does. It was his title. Got to remember that. So, will we see him versus Vern? Will we see, a three-way match? What will we see? I'm not sure. We'll just have to wait and find out. They just announced another show. So we'll have to stay tuned and see what they drop for that. Meanwhile, like I said, every Thursday night you can watch NCW Behind Closed Doors at 7 o'clock and, see all the action. See it all live every Thursday night. So, yeah, definitely check that out on YouTube. You can, and a lot of the times the superstars are in there. People are in there. It's a fun time. You can interact with other fans and everything. It's a great time. So check that out. Check out more of what we have here on the VSW. We have a bunch of new unboxing videos if you're into the figure world. The Disabled Wolf has been killing it with the sports content, and we got all sorts of fun and interesting stuff on our YouTube. So give it a look through and see what interests you. Give some likes, sub if you have to, share it with your friends, do whatever you must. And thank you everybody for listening. Have yourself a good night. Versace Stoner out.